Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. My name is Timmy the Toy Time King, and welcome back to a different video for today, guys. Today I will be ranking the regional birds of each region from best to worst. So from Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, and Alola, I'll be ranking those birds from best to worst in competitive wise, not like who's my favorite and who's my least favorite, just pure competitiveness, how good they are on competitive or how bad they are on competitive. So let's just start off the list with the best one, which is obviously Staraptor. It is ranked borderline, the highest rank of all the regional birds. Staraptor obviously is the best for very good reasons. It has access to 120 attack, which is really good, and 100 base speed. Now, the thing that makes Staraptor pretty deadly and pretty good is its ability Reckless, which it got in Generation 5. Reckless is an ability which I'll read out here. This Pokemon's attacks with recoil or crash damage have 1.2 times power, which means every move that Staraptor has that has recoil has 20% boost, which is Brave Bird and Double Edge, which is it's both dual stab. Now, Staraptor chunks, and I mean chunks, a lot of people faces. You run Choice Scarf or Choice Band, interchangeable. Choice Scarf to outspeed a lot of Pokemons into 100 speed is a bit of a decent speed stat, and Choice Band to just make sure you destroy everything that doesn't resist you. Basically, you use Brave Bird, Double Edge, Close Combat, and U-Turn. Close Combat is to beat the Rock and Steel types that you can't beat with your dual stab, and U-Turn just to pivot out in not the to revenge kill with the Choice Scarf set. Now, this is why Staraptor is the best. It's in borderline because it is too strong for OU. Nah, I mean too strong for UU. My apologies. Like it just does not get enough usage in OU to actually be counted as OU, but is way too strong for UU just because of Reckless. Reckless just makes Staraptor a really good mon. And even in Gen 4 when it was introduced, it was still in borderline just because it did a lot of damage and it didn't have access to Reckless, but it just did a lot of damage. Now the second best regional flying type bird is probably Pidgeot, not regular Pidgeot. If it was regular Pidgeot, it would be probably really low on the list. But we're talking about Mega Pidgeot, guys. Mega Pidgeot is the best special attacker on this list for good reason. With access to 135 special attack with 121 base speed, you're going to be outspeeding a lot of Pokemon and dealing a lot of damage. Now, Mega Pidgeot's ability is also very, very useful, like Staraptor's ability Reckless. No guard. Every move used by or against this Pokemon will always hit. And its stab is Hurricane, a 110 base power move that always lands. So, Pidgeot is spamming Hurricanes all the time and doing a lot of damage at the same time. You run Heat Wave to deal with the steel types that you can't beat at all with your flying stab. Air Slash is another, flying stab move that you have a chance of flinching, so that's always nice. And you probably just run a hidden power like hidden power ice or something just to beat like Pokemon like Landorus T, since you're probably using this thing in UU or OU and all Ubers, to be honest, just to hit those ground types like Landorus T. Now the third best one is probably the one that's followed from Grace the most, which is Talonflame. Now in Gen 6, this one was probably at the top of OU just because of how broken Gale Wings was. Gale Wings was an ability that gave Talonflame priority on its flying type attacks. So it made a really strong mon, and even with 126 base speed, that was just a bit of an overkill. But they realized how strong Talonflame was, so they nerfed it. Now it's only when it's at full HP, its flying moves have priority. So Talonflame gets even more destroyed by Stealth Rocks, and Gale Wings is deactivated. Talonflame has made a huge drop. It is now on borderline 2, the ban list for RU. So, it's dropped from usage a lot just because of the nerf that they gave it. Talonflame is still a good mon at heart. If it's at full HP, its flying moves have, you know, priority. Brave Bird, Flare Blitz, really good combination of just a lot of damage. And you just run Steel Wing to defeat the rock types that resist your dual stab. But the reason why Talonflame is a bit worse than Staraptor as an attacker is because of 81 attack. 81 attack is very, very meh for the higher tiers, as there's just more mons doing a lot of damage. Even if you run Adamant, you're not even hitting that 300, sorry for the highlight, that 300 attack. So you're just missing out on a lot of damage, which is why Swords Dance is probably mandatory on all offensive Talonflame sets. The most common Talonflame set is probably abusing the new Z moves with the new flying Z move with Swords Dance, just to make sure you kill everything and nuke everything. Number 4 here we have Swallow. Now Swallow's in RU, and this is where we're just finding out which of the flying mons are really good, ones that are alright at the moment. So Swallow, as I said, is in the rarely used tier. Now, Swallow has two main sets it runs. It either runs the Flame Orb Gut set, Toxic Orb, it doesn't matter what you run. Toxic just does more damage to your health. Flame Orb is a bit better. But Flame Orb, Toxic Orb, Gut set, physical attacker with Facade, Brave Bird, U-turn, and Quick Attack. This is just a full damage set. Like, you're breaking past anything with that Facade. Base 140 stab move, which is really strong. Brave Bird, another move that is really strong. U-turn for the pivot, and that a quick attack for the priority. Now this set is it's still a good set for Swallow, but it's kind of dropped down in usage, like in Gen 7. Now this is the most common Swallow set as of now, choice specs. Now, if you didn't know about this, Swallow's special attack got buffed to 75 from 50, which it was in Gen 6. 50 was pretty pitiful. 75 is usable now. So that's why we're abusing choice spec Swallow. With the ability Scrappy, which allows it to hit ghost types with normal moves, Boom Burst is like more common on Swallow more than ever now, since basically only rock and steel types will, boom burst, and it's hitting everything else neutrally, which is a lot of damage. Heat wave is to take out the steel types that just resist your dual stab. U-turn for the pivot, despite U-turn being a physical move, you still use it to swap out on like disadvantage matchups, and air slash just for that flinch and your other flying stab move. And Swallow's pretty good now. Like, he's in a good spot right now with the 75 special attack. Now, this is the time in the video where we go down to just the really not good mons. And we're just going to start off with our latest addition to the regional birds group is Toucannon, the Gen 7 bird. Now, Toucannon has been blessed with a really good move pool and a really good ability in Skill Link and Sheer Force. Skill Link being the more common ability. It gets access to Bullet Seed, and the Bullet Seed is really useful for rock types, which it just cannot defeat whatsoever. Bullet Seed probably takes out the majority of the rock types that it faces down in PUT. Now, this set, as you can see, is a mixed Toucannon set. Toucannon does have 75 special attack, the same as Swallow, so it can actually be used as a mixed set, despite 75, probably without specs, isn't that strong at all. But since it has Life Orb, it just does a little bit more damage. Now, the cons about Toucannon is just its terrible speed tier, which the majority of Gen 7 mons have. Like, they're just 60 base speed isn't helping anyone. It gets outclassed in Staraptor in that case, because Staraptor is a faster mon, just has a lot more damage. Same thing with Talonflame. Talonflame has that speed, which really makes outspeed a lot of mons, but 60 isn't helping anyone. Also, Toucannon doesn't have the best defensive stats, so since it's going to be moving last the majority of the time due to its terrible speed tier, it's going to get one shot most of the time. So, that's why Toucannon is kind of low on the list. Now we're going to get into the last three mons, which are very, very bad. We're going to start off with Fearow here. To be honest, the last three mons are all as bad as each other, to be honest, apart from the last two. Fearow is just a very, very small exception. With the ability Sniper, Fearow finds a niche with moves like Drill Peck to just constantly keep critting everyone, and Choice Span to make sure those crits even do more damage than they're supposed to do. Drill Run, it actually has a decent coverage. Drill Run being able to hit the ground and rock types that it can't hit with its dual stab. Like a lot of the mons on this list have coverage that allows it to hit rock types which dual stab, because the majority of them are normal flying, and U-turn for momentum and just pivot out on terrible matchups. Choice band to just make sure this thing does more damage than it does, because 90 base attack isn't helping anyone, to be honest. It's just meh as an attacking stat. 100 base speed isn't that good anymore, but you know that's why it's down in PU, because it just gets outclassed, to be honest. Why use Fearow when Staraptor exists, even though it has the same speed, has 120 attack compared to 90, and your defensive stats aren't helping anyone out either. 65, 61, or 65 HP. You're going to get one shot by most moves. Priority is just going to kill you. So now we're getting into the two worst regional flying types. To be honest, Unpheasant and Noctowl, in my opinion, are on the same level. They might as well not be used at all. They're both really, really trash. Now let's just start off with Unpheasant. Unpheasant has been blessed, we will say cursed, with a very, very, very terrible limited physical move pool. Does not get access to a really good flying physical stab move. Does not get Brave Bird. Now once you hear it doesn't get Brave Bird, it's in a really, really difficult spot. Like, doesn't even get Drill Peck or anything a bit better. It has to use Aerial Ace, and we all know Aerial Ace is a pretty, pretty trash move. Unpheasant's niche is Super Luck, which boosts its critical hit ratio by 1 stage. So it is doing some damage there, but you know, it's just been reduced to Tailwind support because its move pool is just very, very trash. And even if it's getting crits, it doesn't really hit anything that hard because, as I mentioned many times, its move pool is trash. Despite the fact that it has 115 attack, which is really good, with a decent 93 speed tier, its move pool just lets it down. It's just a terrible Pokemon just because of that. And now we'll just move on to Noctowl. Noctowl is just reduced to... This is probably the only tank mon on the regional flying list, because that 50 attack is not usable in the slightest, and 86 is quite decent, but it doesn't have the move pool to actually utilize it. So it's just reduced to being a special defense tank, because 96 is pretty decent with 100 HP. Now, why use Noctowl when there's just better special defense tanks that actually have a better defensive distribution of their stats? Like, you cannot be a tank or a wall with 50 base defense. Like, even if your special defense is higher, 50 isn't helping out anyone. You're going to get one shot by any strong physical attacker. And 70 base speed is not good at all. So tank standards, it's fast. It's a bit fast, but still gets one shot by most physical attackers. So Unpheasant and Noctowl are the worst regional flying mons. Fearow is almost in their like tier, but Fearow somehow makes it out because it actually does damage. Unpheasant has a shit move pool, and Noctowl just sucks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more like videos like this, where I just do like a top 10 or like a discussion type video, because I really enjoy doing these, just like voicing my opinion, despite that list not really being opinion and just a bit of fact as well, because Noctowl is trash and Unpheasant is trash, and Staraptor is the best flying regional flying mon. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out my Twitter. Link will be in below for, just you guys can follow me, see what's going on. And thank you guys for watching the last video. That last video was really well received. Over 300 views in a day. That is amazing for my channel. I've never had like a boom like that before. And I hope you guys, like, from that video, are coming to subscribe to the channel just to see what's going on. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.